Coming up next on this edition of In the City. The city visits Oxford, Mississippi's downtown area to get some ideas for our downtown. Also, Murfreesboro City Schools CHOW Bus is visiting many areas of Murfreesboro to feed kids during the summer. Plus, another successful international Folkfest comes to Murfreesboro with Poland, Puerto Rico, and Estonia's countries being represented. And the high temperatures couldn't keep people away at the city's Juneteenth celebration. Welcome to another edition of In the City, your source for what's happening right here in the city of Murfreesboro. I'm Michael Linn White. Our top story. The Planning and Building and Codes departments present information to City Council about improvements to the downtown area.
The historic downtown is the #1 tax revenue for Murfreesboro. Several years ago, the city hired a consultant to see what the city could do to help develop downtown. 2 city employees came to a City Council workshop meeting to communicate information from research done on Oxford, Mississippi's downtown area.
I'll talk a little bit about some of the things that we learned when we took a trip to Oxford, the directors of development services, some of the things that we gleaned from that and the takeaways. And maybe some of those that, if you have favor with those, maybe we can try that kind of stuff here and see if it works. This is an area of downtown Oxford, and you can see this building on the top here, added this porch on the side with some steps that access the top. But what it did is it added square footage to this building that it didn't have. It brought economic development to this building and to the owner of the building. People want to go there, they want to sit outside. So not only does it add square footage, but it brings people to the area. Outdoor dining expansion, front patios was something else that Oxford did. So what they did, got rid of some of the street parking that would have been on the front of this building, expanded the sidewalk, put in planters. So the city did the public infrastructure, paid for it, and the city's recouping that money by leasing that space back to the tenant. This is what it looked like before they came in. The top picture is what it looks like after. Another item that we saw is trash enclosures. Our alleyways, you see a lot of trash cans, a lot of single trash cans that go to different businesses, and it's really cluttered up. So what Oxford did is they divided the city into zones, and then they installed a trash enclosure that is for that zone. Those occupants are no longer allowed to store their trash outside so that they can keep the streets clean, keep the alleyways clean, and really make it look good. Inside it has grease drain, steam pressure washer to keep it clean, and then a trash compactor so that people can come in and get rid of it. This is an example. The top picture is an alleyway looking one direction. The bottom picture is 180 degrees looking the other direction. The bottom picture is where that trash receptacle was installed. The city also took it upon itself to get rid of some of the old wooden steps that were there, similar to what we have in some of our alleyways. That top picture, when it gets an area trash enclosure, it'll look like the bottom picture. Another opportunity that Oxford saw that they needed was a parking garage. The blue area shows where the parking garage now sits. Prior to its existence, the city created a parking commission that installed meters throughout downtown. These meters generate enough income to pay for the financing of that parking garage. The top picture here is the city of Murfreesboro. The bottom picture is Oxford, and very similar in size. The big difference that you see, I think, is the porches around the square in Oxford and that economic impact that it has, and the square footage that it adds and the people that it brings in.
We're starting to get business owners and stakeholders excited. So again, we're going to kind of formulate what each building needs, egress, parking, patio areas, and security. But how can we help them do that? We've also met with Metro building codes. I called those guys. I was like, you have old buildings. How do y'all do this? Like, there's got to be a way to help these people out. So they put a team together with their building official, fire marshal, local contractors, architects, to work with these people to come up with better ways, other solutions. I think that's something that we can implement here, and I think we'll move forward to that once we figure out with the downtown study and kind of us reassessing all these buildings, how can we do that? So I think we can make some of this stuff happen, and if we just keep the momentum up.
That's great.
the next phase in the downtown study would be going out to engage interested individuals and trying to work some kind of collaboration with the city and see where we go next.
The one thing I would encourage you to do, one, make sure like you're doing, get all the parties together, because there's a lot of different, city, county, businesses, developers, all these people that have a stake in our downtown, getting those people together. But to me, the more critical point is identify something that you can make a big difference with, that are low-hanging fruit, so we can see that it's just not another study, it's not just another thing that we've identified, and we can claim the next part of that journey because we did something good.
The CHOW Bus rolls out every weekday, bringing free meals to children 18 and under across Murfreesboro. Summer break is here, but Murfreesboro City Schools is staying busy making sure kids are fed, engaged, and ready to learn. The CHOW Bus started in 2014 with 5 stops at the time. Now they stop at over 15 spots around town, and last year they passed out 20,000 meals.
A lot of people just don't realize how much there is a need for meals during the summer. They get fed breakfast and lunch, sometimes a snack at schools, depending upon the program during regular school. Now that all stops when school ends, so no one ever really thinks about who's going to get the kids fed during the summer. So this is why we rolled out this program.
Even though school is out, the mission to support kids remains. The MCS CHOW Bus delivers free breakfast and lunch to children Monday through Friday.
Not just the bus runs out and feeds the children. We do have several schools that are open all summer long to feed them also. There is a list on City Schools website that you can have a list of every site that we go and we feed in every site that is open.
The CHOW Bus has been a summertime staple for years, but now it has company. A new mobile education resource van, or MIRV, joins the CHOW Bus every Wednesday. The van visits different neighborhoods packed with all kinds of goodies.
We have education and resources, so we're providing books to kids over the summer. We're following our CHOW Bus, which feeds the kids through the summer. So we're kind of tagging along behind that bus and providing books to the kids. They can jump on and get some coloring sheets and activity books and just some entertainment for them.
The supplies on MIRV are generously donated from the community.
So we have a lot of community partners. Stuff the Bus with United Way has always donated a lot of school supplies, and we're fortunate to have some crayons left over from that. We have other community partners that have donated cleaning supplies, laundry detergents, and we just really have citizens that like to give too. So I have people call and they're like, hey, we've got a box of great books we'd like to bring. I'm like, we'll take them. So just collections from everywhere.
Murfreesboro City Schools goes beyond the classroom, one stop at a time. A great example of how schools continue to serve the community year-round, and it's been extremely popular.
They were not only excited, but the moms and dads were excited, and they were so thankful. Like one little girl, it was her birthday, and it was like just happened to be on her birthday, and we rolled up, and she was able to pick out a book and get crayons, and they were just really thankful. They're glad that we're out there doing this.
The CHOW Bus runs now through August. For more information, visit cityschools.net. If you haven't been a part of the International Folkfest, you've been missing some great entertainment. We catch up with some of the Polish dancers at Linebaugh Library.
Formed in 1986, the International Folkloric Society Planning Council is a nonprofit organization based in Murfreesboro. The mission is to promote and preserve international cultural heritage with a primary focus on the arts. And what better way to do that than with the International Folkfest?
I think that the goal is to bring the world a little bit closer together, to introduce Tennessee to the different cultures that are out there around the world, to see some dancing. All our musicians are live musicians. There's nothing recorded. They have to bring their own instruments with them, their own costumes. And I think it was initiated with the Cripple Creek Cloggers here in Tennessee. And they have been traveling abroad for many years. I think their first trip was '73 to Romania, actually. But I understand they've been to many countries, predominantly Europe and some countries in Latin America as well. and introducing the folks there to American Appalachian culture. And we'd like to host people here, show them a little bit of taste of Tennessee, American culture, and also to show Tennessee a little bit of the world. So this year we're having Poland, Estonia, and Puerto Rico.
We caught up with the Poland troupe as they performed at the Linebaugh Public Library.
Today we're going to see Ziemia. It's a little bit hard to say. They are from a town in southern Poland, along the mountains, so you're going to see highland culture, a lot of hopping and dancing of folk culture from the mountains along the Slovak-Czech border in southern Poland. I am just fascinated. I was even asking this morning at breakfast to see young people really interested in folk dancing, not just the modern things, so even young people are really interested in preserving the culture.
It was my mom. I was in kindergarten, and she thought that it would be great to, to show me some dances and some songs to learn. So that's how I started. Today we're gonna present dances from our region, from the mountains. So you're gonna see some dances in pairs, some tricks that the boys will do. Yeah, you're gonna like it. I am singing and dancing because you can either sing and dance or play instruments in our group. It's really hard to keep up with the music. It's so fast, so we have to train not only dances but running, lifting. So you have to be in great condition.
I love this. It's a top opportunity for me. I'm passionate about my heritage, as Polish American on both sides. But I think that's the lovely part of America. We all came here from somewhere. And to know where we came from and to see just love for each other and friendship, hopefully. And maybe we can encourage some people even from this area to go visit their countries.
The annual Juneteenth celebration brings the community together to celebrate and honor the historic day. This year's Juneteenth celebration was a hit as thousands of people came out to celebrate Freedom Day. Juneteenth, short for June 19th, celebrates the day Union soldiers came to Galveston, Texas, enforcing the Emancipation Proclamation 2.5 years after the historic document was signed. Now, with celebrations across the country, communities can come together and celebrate. At this year's Juneteenth, there's something for everyone. A kids area, bands playing, craft vendors, and more. Juneteenth is the longest-running African-American holiday in the U.S. and is now a federal holiday. The Town Creek project off of West Broad Street near downtown is moving along nicely. Here's the latest on the project.
Work has begun on the Daylighting Town Creek project. This project will unearth Town Creek that back in the 1950s was directed into an underground culvert from Murphy Spring Wetlands at Discovery Center to Cannonsburg Village, where it becomes visible again.
This project is going to open up that creek. It's going to create a place for folks to come and enjoy and connect with the water. There's going to be several other linear projects that come alongside of it, including a greenway, multi-use trail, and then we'll have a lot of utility improvements that are also part of the project.
This is the latest update on the project. The contractor continues to hammer and break up the rock in the waterline section of the channel along Front Street, while continuing to check the channel depth. Rock that will not be used on site for the project is being hauled out to Butler Drive. They are also pumping out the water channel section along Front Street and are utilizing a dewatering bag to remove all the water that contains sediment. A pipe crew is continuing to install an 8-inch water line along Hickerson Drive. Additional workers may be needed to continue installing a 12-inch water pipe along Front Street. Also, gas line work along Front Street will be taking place soon. Equipment is staged along the street. Electricians have been on site installing an electrical line along Broad Street.
Well, it'll be generally a pools and riffles situation for the creek. So some of those pools will be a little deeper, and then the riffle sections will be, we're trying to mimic a natural stream. As far as depth, what really drives it is we have 2 box culverts, one under Front Street and one coming under South Church. And those really set hard places in our project where it drives the creek to a certain elevation. So generally that box is around 10 feet deep today, and that's generally where the bottom of the creek will live. The creek channel is going to be a work of art. at the end of the day to get this to be what we want it to be for the community.
Murfreesboro and Smyrna Parks and Rec partner again for the annual Boat Day event. Murfreesboro and Smyrna Parks and Recreation Departments partner again this year for the 17th annual Boat Day.
The public are able to go and test out the waters. Maybe it's their first time, maybe they're an experienced kayaker, and they just get to enjoy the water.
Jefferson Springs Recreation Area is an ideal spot for this event with lots of shade and easy water access. This event is a great opportunity for the community to come together for fun and learn about water safety and water quality.
We brought some of our things that we use for education to help teach the public about what animals and what relies on the water, and some of our science equipment to help teach them about water quality and benthic macroinvertebrates.
This yearly free event is a chance to get outside and try something new like kayaking or canoeing in a safe environment.
But what they provide is a sense of community, right? So all these people are gathered here to enjoy one thing, Boat Day, being on the water, but it also gives us the chance to describe some of the safety components. Maybe they never want to go on a kayak before today, and now they get to kind of break those walls and get over that kind of fear. And so we get to enjoy it a little bit more.
This partnership brings a bigger event and more resources for residents. The new location is also more reliable than the previous one. Make sure to mark your calendar for next year's Boat Day and have some summer fun in the sun. Murfreesboro Police Department hosts its annual Junior Officer Summer Camp where kids learn all aspects of the police profession.
Murfreesboro Police Department School Safety Division hosted another Junior Officer Summer Camp. This camp is offered to kids grades 3rd through 6th.
So when we started this, we did 2 summer camps. Both of them were filled. They were pretty successful. That's when I figured out, hey, I'm really into this. I like it. I was blessed, and they gave me the opportunity to kind of take it and run with it. That last year was my first year doing that. We had 2 camps last year, and both of them were big successes. And the department decided that they wanted more this year. So this year they gave us 5 camps. And I want to say by March, maybe mid-April or late April, all 5 camps were full. All the kids that come to these camps obviously have some kind of interest in law enforcement, whether they're just interested in what their SRO does, or maybe they want to be a police officer when they get older, especially the PD tour, when they get to talk to the detectives and they get to talk to dispatchers. And they've always asked really good questions, so they do stay engaged, and it makes it easier for us because they want to be here. The parents, they come back and they tell us, they're like, man, this was awesome. Thank you so much. In fact, we even have a student here this week who's already been in one of our camps this summer. And mom came in and said, could he do it again? And we had availability, so we're like, yeah, absolutely, bring him back.
We were able to highlight 2 activities planned for the kids on this day. The first was an attention to detail game.
What's done is Officer Ratzlaff has put some photos up into a PowerPoint. He'll show them on the screen. He'll give them a certain amount of time. They look at it. He'll turn it off. Shows the kids that you got to pay attention, and it's very easy that your brain will shift and think this happened whenever something else was actually up on the screen.
The second was getting a tour of the SWAT vehicle and meet the team.
We got a couple officers here that were SWAT members, so the kids are going to get to come out. They get to see the Bearcat. They get to climb up inside of it. They explain the gear that they carry, the stuff that they get to do, calls that they go to, and this, that's what kids want. They get excited over the cool stuff.
The school resource officers now have their own division called the School Safety Division. Reed talks about the division and what it takes to be a good SRO.
We do a ton of training on our own to keep us prepared, keep us up to date with everything that we're supposed to be capable of doing while we're inside the schools. We've also started shifting into more of the community engagement role. We have quite a few officers that are bike certified. We've been doing pop-up events over the summer now where we go to a park, we bring popsicles, we invite kids out, we grill out, just engage with the community a little bit more. Instead of just seeing the police side, they can also see that we're here to help them, we're here to serve them, be part of the community as much as they are. So I think what makes a good SRO is somebody who's able to engage with the children, who's able to understand the kids. They want mentors, they want the structure, and we can offer that as SROs. When I became an SRO, meeting these kids, getting to interact with them, it was awesome. Instead of reacting to somebody on the worst possible day, I'm getting these kids on every day, which is a great day. I know that there's a lot of families that I've created bonds with now, and I know they can reach out to me, and they're not afraid to say, hey, I need help with this, or hey, this is going on in my neighborhood. They're much more comfortable reaching out because of the relationships and the bonds that we've built with their kids and into them as the adults.
With summer here, the Murfreesboro Stormwater Department wants to give out some good tips on a task that could affect our local rivers and streams. Whether you're washing a personal car or participating in a local fundraiser, it's important to be conscious of where the water goes. If it's not done properly, it could pollute our local waterways. Washing vehicles near storm drains allow wash water to flow directly into nearby creeks and streams. What you may not know is the wash water can contain contaminants that can be harmful to aquatic life. The best way to minimize the effect of washing your car on the environment is to use a commercial car wash. Most commercial washes reuse water several times and are properly equipped to treat wash water. Use biodegradable, phosphate-free, water-based cleaners only. Minimize water usage with a spray gun or nozzle with flow restriction. Avoid washing vehicles on concrete or asphalt unless it drains into a vegetated area. Never use an area which drains directly to any type of storm drain or conveyance leading to a water source. Avoid parking lots adjacent to streams or waterways due to the lack of possible mediation. Only let wash water soak into the ground if you're using biodegradable phosphate-free cleaners. Always empty wash buckets into sinks or toilets. Remember, storm drains do not lead to the sewer system. They flow directly into creeks, streams, and wetlands. Anyone found discharging pollutants or allowing the discharge of pollutants from their property into storm sewers maintained by the City of Murfreesboro may be subject to fines and penalties. Car washes are a great way to raise money for a good cause. So when you plan your car wash, take a few moments to include in your plan some techniques to ensure that your wash water doesn't enter the storm drainage system, which leads to rivers and lakes that we use and enjoy. For more information about managing water entering storm drains, call 848-3200 or visit the city's website at murfreesborotn.gov. Murfreesboro Fire Rescue Department holds a Citizen CPR class, the first of its kind, inviting the public to learn vital life-saving skills.
Yeah, but that's the minimum rate right there is 100 beats a minute, right?
When someone is having a heart attack or cardiac arrest, time is of the essence.
Seconds matter.
Those first critical seconds and minutes can mean the difference between life and death.
Time matters, right? The longer that somebody's in cardiac arrest without life-saving skills being performed, the less chance they have of survival or coming out of that event.
That's why the Murfreesboro Fire Rescue Department held its first ever Citizen CPR class, teaching residents the basics.
It is super important that citizens learn CPR because it will take us a few minutes to get on scene, and those first few minutes are critical to do CPR, to supply, oxygen to the body and the tissues, and help people make it out of this.
Participants used adult and child mannequins.
And then we'll deliver 2 breaths.
Under the guidance of MFRD's skilled instructors.
Push it out. So we're just going to sit here and we're just going to do this until help arrives.
The class taught participants how to perform hands-only CPR, use an AED, and how to respond to choking emergencies.
Then you're going to give your 2 breaths?
Okay. The department hopes to offer more classes like this in the future.
This is something we would like to continue. Like I said, this is our first one, so we're going to see how it goes, and we would love to offer this to the public, hopefully at least once a year.
We are excited that we have partnered with PAWS of Rutherford County to bring you the Pet of the Month. Looking for a furry friend who's equal parts couch potato and party animal? Look no further than Fred. This handsome shelter pup is patiently waiting for his chance to move into his forever home. He has a ton of energy when it comes to tail wags, greetings, and affection. He sits and stays for a treat and is a quick learner when snacks are involved. His overall vibe is sweet, gentle, and interested in making new friends. He's 4 years old, neutered, vaccinated, and heartworm negative. He promises to fill your home with love, laughter, and maybe a little bit of dog hair. If you're interested in adopting Fred, check out adoption requirements online at rutherfordcountytn.gov/adoption or stop by the shelter for a visit today. For more information about Fred or any other dogs or cats available for adoption, go to secured.rutherfordcountytn.gov/PAWS. You can contact PAWS at 615-898-7740 or email them at paws@rutherfordcountytn.gov. Discovery School has earned another national recognition by going green. The Arbor Day Foundation named Discovery School a 2024-2025 K-12 Tree Campus. This honor places Discovery School as the first elementary school campus in Middle Tennessee with this designation and among an elite 6 schools across the state to receive this designation. We are so proud of this partnership and the designation, said Principal Caitlin Bullard. Working with our city arborist, Carson Elder, and our partners at Murfreesboro made this achievement possible. The Legacy Recognition Program celebrates and honors retired City of Murfreesboro employees who have made lasting, significant contribution to the city's growth, enrichment, and community impact.
The City of Murfreesboro has created a Legacy Recognition Program to formally honor eligible retired employees who significantly contributed to the city's advancement, enrichment, and community. To be eligible for recognition, the retiree must have completed a minimum of 20 years of continuous service or 30 years of combined service with the city. They must have been fully retired for at least 2 years unless extenuating circumstances warrant an exception as approved by the selection committee. They must have left the city's employment in good standing, and the retiree may be either living or deceased. Nominations are accepted annually through August 1st with consideration for selection each fall. Nominations can be submitted by current employees, retirees, or members of the public. To nominate a retired city employee for the Legacy Recognition Program, fill out an official nomination form either online at murfreesborotn.gov/legacyrecognition or in the City Administration Office. For submission requirements or more information, please contact the Human Resources Department at 615-848-2553.
July is the last month to catch a great family-friendly movie outdoors with Movies Under the Stars. Mondays at Barfield Crescent Park, Thursdays at Richard Siegel Neighborhood Park, Fridays at Cannonsburg Village, and Saturdays Fountains at Gateway. Go to murfreesboroparks.com to see what movies are playing. Murfreesboro Fire Rescue has had a couple of high-profile rescues lately. Early on a Sunday evening, residents called after hearing a kitten trapped in a flooded storm drain. The kitten could be heard crying but not seen. Ladder 4 and Rescue 4 crews jumped into action with water rescue gear and wading into the water to search. We're happy to report the kitten was rescued, dried off, and warmed up with a towel. And even better, one of the firefighters who helped save the kitten is adopting it as the newest member of his family. Also, Ladder 4 and Rescue 4 crews responded to a call near Stones River National Battlefield after someone heard cries coming from a storm drain. Turns out a baby deer had fallen and couldn't get out. Firefighters safely pulled the little one from the drain, and after checking for injuries, just a few scrapes, the fawn was gently released into the woods near where it was found, hoping mama deer was still close by. Our very own CityTV station manager, Michael Nevels, received a STARS Award. STARS stands for Succeeding Through Attitudes Reflecting Service Excellence. The purpose of the STARS Award is to recognize and reward those employees who go beyond their normal job duties in providing outstanding customer service to internal and external customers. He received it at the June 26 City Council meeting.
And Mike, on a personal note, your work ethic, your dedication, and the service excellence are second to none, and we appreciate what you do. So if you would, please stand. On behalf of the city, the council, and the great city of Murfreesboro, we thank you and we recognize you for the recipient of the STARS Award for the month of May.
Congratulations, Michael, and well deserved. Well, that's it for this edition of In the City. As always, for more information about the city of Murfreesboro or any of the stories you've seen here, you can always visit our website at www.murfreesborotn.gov. And if you want to see any of the stories that you've seen today or catch up on some of the latest city news, you can always visit the City of Murfreesboro's YouTube channel. I'm Michael Linn White, and until next time, we look forward to seeing you in this city.